Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Crochet. My name is Jeremy. In today's lesson, we're going to be learning the double crochet. The double crochet is actually double the height of a single crochet. It's 2 crochets put on top of one another, so that way it gives you a double the height of that stitch, and that's going to be your double crochet. So I hope you're ready to learn it, and let's get to it. Okay guys, so today we're going to be doing the double crochet. I have chained 9 chains here. Let's go ahead and chain one more. Chain one more there, so that's 10. Now, to do a double crochet, what you have to do is, once you have all of your chains, chain 3 extra chains. So count to 10 and then go 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3 extra chains here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 chains here. So what you want to do, because this is going to count as your first double crochet here. So what we want to do is we want to start our double crochet, we want to yarn over. That's putting the yarn over your hook, coming down 1, 2, 3 chains. And that 4th chain right here, that's going to be your first chain. You're going to put your hook through that chain. You're going to yarn over, putting the yarn over your hook, turning that hook, catching your yarn, and pulling it through that chain. It's going to leave you with 3 loops on your hook. Now, you want to go ahead and yarn over again, bringing that yarn over your hook, turning your hook, catching that yarn. Now you want to just go through 2 of these loops, just 2 of them. And then what you want to do is yarn over again, turning that hook, catching that yarn, and then going through these 2 loops. And that is your first and second double crochet there, since these chains here count as your first crochet. So we're going to go ahead and keep going down. Let's do that again. So we're going to yarn over, turning that hook, but this time we're just going to go into the next chain down. And I got a question about how do you know like your chains? Like what's the next chain down? Well, this one has all of my crochets in it. The next one, which is this one, is going to be just plain by itself like all the rest of them. But this one, as you can see, has a big loop and it's like all the crochets are in it. So let's go ahead and go into that next chain. We're going to put the hook through the chain. We're going to yarn over, turning that hook, catching that yarn, pulling it through that chain. And then what's going to happen is we're stuck with 3 more loops on our hook. So we're going to yarn over, turning your hook, catching that yarn, pulling it through just 2 of them. That was 1 crochet. Now we're going to yarn over, turning that hook, catching that yarn, pulling it through the next 2. That's a double crochet. So let's keep going down. Yarning over, putting it through the chain, yarning over again, catching that yarn, pulling it through, and we're left with 3 on my hook, yarning over, turning my hook, catching that yarn, pulling it through 2, and then yarning over, catching that yarn, pulling it through the next 2. That is a double crochet. And see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's keep going. Yarning over, finding the next chain, going through that next chain, yarning over again, turning your hook, catching your yarn, pulling it through. Now we're going to yarn over again, pulling it through the first 2 loops, yarning over again, turning your hook, catching that yarn, pulling it through the next 2. That's another double crochet. So it's yarning over, going to the next chain, putting it through the next chain, yarning over again, turning, catching that yarn, pulling it through. That leaves us with the 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, turning our hook, catching that yarn, going through the first 2, and then yarning over, turning our hook, catching it, going through the next 2. That's the double crochet. Let's keep going. Okay, so that's going to be yarning over, going through the next chain, yarning over, pulling it through that chain, yarning over, grabbing it with your hook, pulling it through the first 2, yarning over, turning, catching that yarn with your hook, pulling it through the next 2. So let's go ahead and finish out the next 3. And on the last one, you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to yarn over, you're going to go through that last chain, and you're going to yarn over again, catching that yarn with your hook, pulling it through that chain. You have 3 on your hook, yarning over, catching that yarn, pulling it through once, and then pulling it through twice. And that will be 1 row of double crochet. Now to start your next row, what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3. So you're going to yarn over, catch that yarn, pull it through once, yarn over, catch that yarn, pulling it through twice, yarn over, catch that yarn, pulling it through a 3rd time. Now this is going to stand for your first double crochet. So now you want to turn your work over to the other side, and you're going to start just like you would a double crochet. You're going to yarn over, you're going to find that first hole. Now each one of these is going to be where you're going to stick your crochet hook. These are the holes all across here. As you can see, if you pull it, you'll see a hole there. Pull it, you'll see the hole. So all of these are going to be where the hole's at. So you're going to find your first double crochet here, your first hole. You're going to stick your hook through that hole. You're going to yarn over, turning your hook, catching that yarn, and pulling it through. And that's going to be your first 3 loops that are on there. So you want to yarn over, catching that yarn, pulling it through the first 2 loops. Then you're going to want to yarn over, catching that yarn, pulling it through the next 2 loops, and that's the double crochet. And then you're just going to keep on and going to each hole. So that's yarning over, finding the next hole there, putting your hook through, yarning over, catching that yarn, pulling it through that hole. That's going to leave you with 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, catching that yarn, pulling it through once, pulling it through twice. And that will be your double crochets for your second row. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I will see you the next time with a treble crochet. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, guys, so there you have it. If you have any questions about anything, please go ahead and feel free to comment and let me know. And I hope you got a lot out of this video. And the next video, we're going to be doing a treble crochet. And so if you want to learn a little bit more, come and follow me on that next video. Thanks a lot, guys.